today I wanted to make a video on baby names I love but won't be using, specifically baby boy names. We have one son who's 16 months old now and another son on the way, gonna join us in about 3 months, but as soon as we found out he was a boy, we very quickly decided on a name because we've been kind of talking about potential names for boys or girls up until that point. And once we landed on the name, it was just so perfect. And so we're really excited about it, but we won't be sharing his name until he is born. That being said, I know my family is on pins and needles wanting to know the baby's name, and so maybe there will be some little hints in this video, kind of the direction of names that we're going, types of names that I like, types of names that we could agree on, Jeff and I. And so without further ado, here are my favorite baby boy names that I love but won't be using for this baby, maybe using them for a future baby, but we haven't decided yet. Okay, so first, I really love the name Noel, N-O-E-L. I would not call him Noel because I think that sounds really feminine, but just Noel I think is so cute. Don't know what it means, but it's kind of like a Christmassy name, reminds me of Christmas. It's kind of like Bible adjacent in my opinion. I don't think Noel is like technically a biblical name, but if it is, then bonus points. Another name that I love is for baby boys, or I guess for boys that will be babies and then grow up to be adults, is Bishop. And I actually got really discouraged about this name because I was reading like forums on Nameberry or something, and someone was like, Bishop is not a name. If you want a like Bible sounding name, then you should pick like something like a saint's name or something like that, like something that's actually a biblical name. But so it made me feel really bad because this was definitely a leading candidate at one point. But for us, Bishop is a family name on my side. My great-grandfather, my mom's paternal grandfather, is named Locke Bishop, and so Shepard's middle name is Locke, and that's where that comes from, Papa LB. And my grandfather, my mom's dad, is Stephen Locke, and so that name was really significant to us, and we loved it. And then kind of Bishop was a natural follow-on, but that is not the name that we're using for this baby. So, but still love it. We did think about naming our son after my husband because we didn't name our first son after my husband. I thought it was kind of weird for this. I didn't know if you did this, like the second born son to be named after the dad, but maybe that's a thing, I don't know. But to me, I was like, well, we should have done that first if we were gonna do that. So, and we didn't, but I don't know, maybe we'll do that for if we have a third boy. Maybe we'll be like, all right, this one's Jeffrey Randolph, the second, yeah. So, but this one is, the second baby is not Jeffrey Randolph. So, another one that I think is so cute that I feel like is really cute for a baby, really cute for a little boy, like kind of a grown-up name for a baby or a little boy, is Hugh, H-U-G-H, and I just love that name so much. But honestly, I have trouble like saying the name, so probably not a good option. And our last name is Price, so Hugh Price. I don't know, it just doesn't really like, to me it just doesn't roll off the tongue, but I just think that's an adorable name. It's so cute. And also maybe like negative connotations with various famous Hughs that I didn't want associated with my baby. So anyway, next one on my list is Theodore with the nickname Teddy, and I love the nickname Teddy. I think it's so cute. It's like a little cute teddy bear, obviously, but also Theodore I thought was like very adult, very unusual, but not a name, if that makes sense. Definitely a name. So anyway, kind of old-timey, definitely a little more like upscale, if names are upscale. I did not want like kind of like redneck names by any means. No, that sounds awful. But I definitely like wanted names that are real names, but that not every child in the class would have. And I mean, maybe Theodore, I think Theodore is growing in popularity. It's like kind of a little bit hip, like vintage name that's coming back in style. So maybe a good like thing that we didn't actually end up using, because it's kind of one of those things where everyone wants to be unique, so they pick that one and then nobody ends up being or having a unique name. So next on my list is Graham, and I have loved this name for a little baby boy named Graham since I was in like high school, and have always just thought it was the sweetest name, but it didn't really stick out to me as like the name for our baby. Like I didn't think that like Shepherd and Graham went together, you know, for like when you send your Christmas card. I wanted the names to like go together, like Jeffrey, Kennedy, Shepherd, and the next baby. I wanted it to be all kind of like, I don't know, all the names just kind of work, like English names that were kind of like elegant and meaningful to us, and yeah, and Graham just didn't make that cut, I guess. So next on my list is Jonah, straight out of the Bible. When around the time that we found out the gender of the baby, I was actually doing a really in-depth Bible study on Jonah, which I loved, and just love the book of Jonah now. But actually Jonah is like still leading candidate for me. Like if we have a third baby boy, his name might be Jonah, but this baby is not named Jonah. We found a name that we thought was like even more perfect, and yeah, but I thought that Shepherd and Jonah would be really cute, like little baby brothers. Next on my list, I have like 1,000, no, not really. I probably have like, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30 names just for boys on this list. And so I'm trying to prioritize the ones that were really serious contenders. But yeah, and I think also what I'm learning through looking back through this list now that I'm 24 weeks pregnant is that there may have been some pregnancy hormones at play when I was like writing the list in my first trimester. I was very hormonal in my first trimester, and some of these names are like not something I would name my child now at all, and I'm so glad we didn't choose them, because I would have like regret, and we would probably like be changing the name at this point. But the name we picked is perfect. There's no changing it. We are locked in. We already know first, middle, and obviously the last. So anyway, keeping going. I also love the name, this is gonna sound so narcissistic, but I love the name Kenneth, and I would want to call him Baby Ken. And yeah, but that's like very, very similar to Kennedy, and my husband calls me Ken, so there was just no way that I could name my son after myself, kind of. You know, I'm not like, I don't know, that egotistical, hopefully, so that was not gonna happen. But anyway, still on the list, still love the name. Next, I love the name Reed. This is like, obviously, if it's not really, I don't think, like a Bible name, but it's a word that is in the Bible. So, and it has significance for that because, yeah. So, and also I just thought it was cute, but not gonna be what we end up naming our baby. So, next up, actually on my list, we have the name of the baby that we've chosen. So, can't let anyone see this list. Next up is Fisher, and I love the name Fisher. I think it would be so perfect. We would have Shepherd and Fisher. Shepherd's got the sheep, Fisher's got the fish. But two kind of big problems with this name are, one, if we were to name our baby Fisher and his last name is Price, then we're basically naming our child after a toy brand, Fisher Price, or like a baby brand. So Fisher is not the name of our baby, regrettably. Still might be the name of baby number 3, but TBD. Second big problem with this name is my brother-in-law, my husband's older brother, and his family have a dog named Fisher Price, and we love Fisher, but I think my mom told me when I was growing up that you shouldn't name a child after a dog. So yeah, we are not going to be naming our baby Fisher Price, regrettably. Not baby boy number 2. If we have a baby boy number 3, still on the list. Very strong possibility. I love the humor in having a child named Fisher Price. I think that would be hilarious, especially if he goes on to be like a professional athlete or something. But anyway, and it's just a super cute name, and I love it, and it's kind of like biblical significance. Like, so Shepherd's name is significant because God chose the shepherds, which were kind of like the lowest of the low profession, to spread the good news of the birth of Jesus throughout all the land. And I think it's Luke chapter 12. I should know this. Somewhere in the Gospel of Luke, I'm sorry, it's whenever like God is telling, or yeah, like they're, anyway. So God heralds the news himself, but he does it to the shepherds, and then the shepherds kind of spread it throughout all the land, which is really significant because it kind of shows that even like the lowest profession, like the most looked down upon profession, or like the most looked down upon people in some cases, are entrusted with sharing the message that the Son of God has been born. And I just thought that was so special, and we wanted Shepherd to feel like empowered in his true purpose here on earth, which is to share Jesus' love with everybody that he meets. So Fisher would have been really cute too, because it could have been symbolic of like being fishers of men. So anyway, but that's not the name of baby number 2. So moving right along. Okay, so I have probably 4 more that I'm gonna share for baby boy names that I think are all super cute. So one is Ford. I love this name. I feel like it reminds me of Henry Ford. It reminds me of kind of like an old South type name. It would be unusual, but it's not like not a name. So that's what I was looking for in most of my name choices. But Ford is, still love it, not the name of baby number 2. Probably won't be the name of baby number 3 either if we have a baby number 3. And but anyway, I love it still. Made my list. It was awesome. Next, 3 more to go. Next name on my list is Holmes, like Sherlock Holmes. And I just thought that this was such a sweet name, so unique, definitely more like one of the, like, I was confident that nobody else in my son's class would have this name. But we did not choose this one. I think this was one that Jeff just vetoed, but I really liked it. But no real like significance or anything like that. I just thought it was super cute, kind of like old Englishy and a unique, like kind of reminds me of a classic name. I don't even know if this is a classic name, but it sounds like a classic name to me. Last 2, Archer. I thought was super cute. Jeff was not into it, so it didn't make our list. And then Asher, same story, thought it was super cute. Jeff did not like it, so it did not make our list. But loved all these names. More from my list, I'll just rattle them off now. Roland, Flynn, Jude and Judah, Fletcher, thought that one was super cute, goes well with Shepherd. Leighton, which to me, it just reminds me too much of Leighton Meester, which I used to look a lot like her. Maybe I still do a little bit, kind of, I don't know, not really, but yeah. Did I say this one already? Whitaker, that was another one on our list. Boone was another one on our list. I thought that was like maybe a little too southern for us. Yeah, I think that's all. Kip, Kipp, I thought that was so cute, but to me it's more of like a nickname for like Christopher or something, and we didn't want to name our baby that, so off the list. But anyway, so these are my baby boy names that I love but won't be using. I still love a lot of these. Maybe I will use them in future pregnancies. This pregnancy has been a little more traumatic than my first, just being diagnosed with a rare kind of potentially life-threatening complication, which if you see in my previous video about my anatomy scan and basic previa diagnosis, I'm definitely a little more high stress this pregnancy than I was in my first one. And so I don't know what the potential future risks are after this baby of having another baby. I don't know if I'll even be able to, or if it would be like a good, safe idea. So all that to say, if we have a baby number 3, might still be using some of these names, but if not, hope these were helpful to you. If you're naming a boy and you're kind of on the same page as me, please leave a comment if you have other baby name suggestions that you think are kind of close to these, relevant to these. If you want me to give you some more suggestions, I told you I have tons and tons on my list. But I will also be making a baby girl names video. So if you haven't already seen that one, then go ahead and go to my channel, watch that one as well. If you're expecting a baby girl, kind of similar methodology for how I landed on the names, but obviously like this baby is not a girl, so we can't use any of those right now. Plus my husband and I have a really hard time agreeing on baby girl names because he has one that he like will not stop championing, and I don't like that name. So, and it has like bad memories associated with it for me. And so, yeah, so luckily baby number 2 is another boy, so we don't have to have that argument for 9 months. So anyway, if you like this video, please leave a comment down below, please subscribe, and if you want to never miss a video, I don't put out too terribly many videos, but when I do put them out, you'll get a notification if you hit the little bell. But please subscribe, it helps me out so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.